Morning, it's Brentley here from Huckabones. Today we're going to look at Land Prides AB, so they're all-purpose brooms. We got a 72-inch and 84-inch, so stay tuned. All right, so this is our AB72 from Land Pride, so our all-purpose broom, 72 inches wide. So you do get the full 72-inch width whenever you're sweeping straight. You're gonna lose 6 or 7 inches whenever you angle that, so keep that in mind for covering your tracks. Right now we're on the SVL 75-3, and this would also suit up to the SVL 65, the two smaller units from Kubota on width. The 84 we don't have here, but to talk about it, that would be better for our 97 model, a little wider. Again, you got to watch on your angle. You're going to lose 8 or 9 inches on that when fully angled. So just remember that 84 now goes down to 76 on your width. So we're going to go through a few of the options that are on this broom of how you can order it. Again, this is on the 75-3, so we'll show you how it hooks up as well and the hydraulic connections. All right, I'm going to start right from the front of the broom, go to the back. The first thing that we've added to this, and it is an option, is your rubber deflector. So the rubber deflector is going to be a little bit longer, keep the debris in and from throwing it further out. You can do a metal deflector. Again, it'll be a little bit shorter, won't cover as low, but just another piece, or you can do nothing. So if you really want it to throw it and not have anything deflect down, then you can do it with 0. These little markers we've done, again, they're just side markers of whenever you're angling. Sometimes it's nice just to see the view from the cab of a skid steer. The other thing that this sweeper could do is go on a tractor on the front of your bucket, so then it's a lot further out for visibility, and that's when they're really handy. Moving back into the broom itself, your key component here, it is a 32-inch diameter broom. We've ordered this with a poly wire mesh combo, so 50-50 split. You can order them fully poly, that if you want more turf sweeping and delicate materials underneath, that it's not tearing it up as much. If you're doing asphalt sweeping and you want better wear and tear, you're going to order the 100% wires brush, and then the poly just kind of gives you the best of both worlds of a little bit more delicate things but also good wear and tear. So again, angle is a factor of, you know what I mean, if you want to sweep one way to the other on a parking lot or something, you're going to angle it and start one place and go to the other. Your angle, again, we'll mention that you lose some width of your 72 inches. You're probably down to about 68, 67 inches on this broom fully angled at 30 degrees. The other thing that is an option is hydraulic. With hydraulic angle, you're doing it by a push button. With manual angle, there's going to be some pin selections where you're going to pin it in a whole selection of 10, 20, 30 degrees and drive. So 2 options there, how to order it. And then the last option what we put on this is the water suppression or dust suppression kit. So this is a full water reservoir with electric pump. The wiring's in there that will be wired into the cab with just a toggle switch to turn it on and off. And you've got your pipe going down, and we'll get a couple pictures underneath of there's 2 nozzle outlets under there just spraying water just to keep the dust down. So nice little feature when you are doing spring cleanup and everything and it is real dusty. It does definitely help. Back again, it's going to be skid steer only for quick coupler, so your tractor would have to have skid steer, or your skid steer itself the way that they come standard. Of course, there's adapters out there that you could get this on something different, but the machine itself will only come skid steer quick attach. So we'll go over to the other side, look at the couple of hydraulic hookups, and then we'll get in the cab and actually make this thing move around for you. All right, we're going to talk about the hydraulics. This is a hydraulic driven sweeper, so that's your hydraulic motor that's going to run the actual broom itself. This is a pin wiring, so this is our 14-pin wiring that Kubota does with ours. So you can order this 2 ways. This is your 14 pin, so this plugs right into our skid steers. Your toggle switch then on your control arms in there will run the angle of this broom and the function of driving it. If you didn't have a Kubota skid steer, you can still buy this Land Pride broom and put it on your other skid steer, or if you had a tractor, we can put this on the front of the loader booms and have a 2-pin battery hookup. So that's going to run wires all the way from the front to the back of the tractor or the skid steer, let's say, and you're going to hook into your battery, and you're going to have a toggle switch in there that is independent from this system of your joystick controls on this skid steer, and you'd have that toggle button mounted somewhere, and that would do your angle for you. So this can be mounted on different brands or different application of a tractor, but this is what we wanted to show here. Is your 2 flat face hoses are standard. Again, you might have to change those couplers if you have a tractor, but they're flat face hoses for skid steers. And then this is the 14-pin wire, and that's going to run the angle function on this machine. It does not run this suppression kit at all. That's going to have its own switch and wiring that's in the top bag right now. It's not wired into this because it's going to a customer's, but that will have its own harness and switch for that. Back to the hydraulic motor, tractor side, all you need is 12 gallons per minute to run this 72-inch broom. On this skid steer, we have a little bit more than that. So all that means is it'll run it a little faster. It's not going to run it better. It's just going to run the broom faster. So again, you might just have to go a little bit slower with a tractor in having the same cleaning application with the broom, with it spinning slower. But with a skid steer, they're known for hydraulic pumps. They have larger pumps than tractors, so this will do the job a little better on the faster note. On the 84-inch sweeper, you're going to have a high flow option. So this will have like a 25 gallon per minute versus this is in probably the 18 gallon per minute right now at top flow. So with that high flow, gives you, again, the faster speed, but that is a wider broom that you're turning, and you need the more flow to turn that extra foot of broom. So again, 18 gallon or 25 gallon per minute is your two motor options on these machines, and down to 12 gallon per minute is your minimum requirement to run this broom. So last thing we'll touch on is maintenance. We're going to have greasable bearings on your hub ends of that sweeper, and then you'll have grease points on all your pivot points. So that sweeper can go up and down for, of course, contact with the ground. And then your angle points will have grease pins as well. Other than that, the skid steer quick mount will have a greasable pin on it, but the mount itself is fixed. So nothing to maintenance there. So just a few grease nipples, and then your oil from the machine is going to keep that motor lubed up. All right, so we're gonna fire this up. We're gonna put the broom in motion. We're going to put the angle in motion to show you. We don't have the dust suppression hooked up to this machine, so we can't show that water spraying, but that's exactly what it is. It's just water spraying down. So let's fire this thing up. We're going to put our lap bars down to unlock, and we're going to unlock our hydraulics. So we've got it on standard hydraulics on the screen. Again, that's all we need is standard flow on this. We're going to make our hydraulics live by hitting our electronic button on with our Kubota. And I'm just gonna lift it up off the asphalt right now, just a bit. Our button on the right is actually gonna be our drive motor. So this will have constant flow on your drive. So just by clicking it on, it keeps it live and running. On your left-hand side, you're going to have your two buttons, and that's going to be left and right. So as you want to swing left, or as you want to swing right, you can go your full 30 degrees of angle either way. And just to stop, just put the hydraulics off again, and you're off. All right, just to wrap things up again, this was the Land Pride all-purpose broom, so AB72 that's in front of us. We also have an 84-inch model. Again, remember you're gonna lose 6 to 8 inches on when you're angling from that width. Again, front to back quick is you've got to order either a deflection or no deflection. You have rubber or steel or nothing. You got to pick your broom style, which is 100% poly, 100% wire, or as this one is a combination 50-50 wire and poly. Again, you can put your side markers here for when you're angling it. Again, that's more purposeful when it's out in front of a tractor and further away from you than the skid steer, but we just got them on here to show you that. And last thing that you can order is the water suppression or dust suppression kit, where it's gonna pump water and keep the dust down while you're sweeping. So just a nice little feature here. Standards, again, is manual angle or hydraulic angle. You pick that. All of them are gonna come with your stands at the bottom here, which you'll fold up when you're in use, but it's really nice that that'll set that broom, that it's not laying on the bristles whenever you've not in use and it's not on the machine. So you kind of drop it down to the skid steer part, and those feet are holding it up off the broom part. And you do have a handy little step here for getting in and out from the side of the machine, and opposite the hose side, of course, it's hard to get on the other side because the hoses are there. We talked about flat face couplers are standard because of skid steer mount. You might change them if you're putting them on tractor. And then your other thing is the 14-pin wiring for a skid steer to have those controls we showed you inside function right from factory, or else you can do the battery with the toggle switch and mount that on any machine or any tractor and have this work. So this is your AB72 from Land Pride. If you liked the video today, click below, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.